Hello, this is the Inspiring Minds with Blissful Botanicals, where we holistically seek the truth in life using our entrepreneurial spirit. I'm your host, J.R. Knopp. Hello, everybody. Welcome me. I've got a very special guest, Marjorie, right?
Yes.
Go ahead, Marjorie. Tell us about who you are and what you got going on.
Hi, I'm Marjorie Forbes Mendez. I am half owner, co-owner of Just a Woman Cannabis, and my wife and I came out with the first botanical line of pre-rolls here in the United States.
I was seeing that on your website. That is very interesting. Some of the wraps and pre-rolls that you were wrapping it up with.
Mm-hmm.
What inspired that? How did you come to differentiate yourself in the market that way? Because I think that's really cool.
Thank you. I've been in cannabis a very, very long time, dating myself back legacy plus, 16 years here since medical inception. Um, I've been in every facet of the industry and I wanted better. Starting in medicinal cannabis, I knew the benefits of it. I was working in the office as a naturopathic doctor and helping patients learn about the medicine, contraindications, or even just the basics of rolling a joint or how to have an edible or decarb, all the things. Making
Mm-hmm.
people feel very comfortable with something that was considered illegal and not safe and addictive to understand it. But at the same time, I knew the other back end of it when we did testing and COAs, the certificate of authenticity, if anyone doesn't know what that meant, that when you did that, the rice papers actually had heavy metals, chemicals, pesticides. Same with the hemp.
Mm-hmm.
The hemp were better. Not going to lie that it wasn't better. But the thing is, most people would do a joint. They weren't going to go
Mm-hmm.
anyone over 40 might have remembered a joint from back in their day in the 60s. But at the same time, a lot of these senior citizens also don't want to try a bong or a contraption or, a pipe. So the joint was the easiest way, or an edible, or a tincture of some sort. But I was seeing that all the heavy metals and all the pesticides that were in these, that's not good for our bodies either. If we're trying to clean out our bodies, be better about our bodies, and be intentional with energy as well as what we're putting in our bodies, because I believe in the energy. You have a sacred plant that you're doing this medicinal property, then you're putting it in this machine and sitting in this nasty, gray factory. And where's the energy in that? Where is the person
Mm-hmm.
hitting the button? Where is their happiness and their good energy? So seeing all the sides of that, I wanted better, but I needed to find a way to do better. And it took a lot of time to do R&D, as well as just finding out if it was possible. We cook food in other countries or even here, different ethnicities, use banana leaves and cocoa leaves and, all
Mm-hmm.
different to cook and put it in the fire, right? We have edible flowers that are good for us or things that we can use. My grandparents were farmers and they would use rose oil and rose water for things, and all the medicinal product. We ate dandelions. We ate the whole flower, everything of it, right? Um, so all of the things that I knew from a child, as well as when I got older and got into natural medicine and herbalism, I was like, let's figure out how to put this with cannabis. And the terpenes in petals are off the chart. And when you combine the terpenes that are in the petals, then they are symbiotic with the cannabis plant, and you blend them together, the terps together, we're getting over 4 and 5% terps. A lot of people go in and want THC and say, oh, I want 30 some THC, so I get blasted. But I can give you a 16, 17% THC with a 5% terp.
I think to continue your message and what I've learned from you, and it's powerful. So you never know where the opportunity is going to show up to help enlighten. So you never know where the opportunity is going to show up to help enlighten people that, or raise awareness that there's another way to think.
Wow.
Including about people that or raise awareness
I like
that there's another way to think.
I am an old head as well, and that just sounds amazing. And there's so much we can unpack in there. First off, what got you to try some of that? Was it just what you were
Oh, no,
saying? I mean, was you like the first one that tried it up,
no,
and how did that? Okay, because
no,
that.
no. I have uncles from the 60s. I am in my 50s, but
Okay.
I have uncles from that era that were like, oh, they would talk about tie sticks and all these different
Mm-hmm.
concoctions. And they were like, but you get a girl over, you get her a rose. And I was like, oh, yeah, you get her a rose. And they're like, no, 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 honey, you get her a rose. And they would tell me they would take flowers, they'd all be hanging out, listening to music and smoking weed, and they
Mm-hmm.
would roll flowers and do that. They'd roll it in sage, they'd roll it in different, anything that was around, and they would just use Mother Nature, grass itself, leaves from trees. Some worked, some didn't. They were like, if it didn't,
Sure.
you threw up all night. If it worked, it didn't. Or it would trip you, add a little mushroom to it, a little hash hole, whatever.
Oh
They were
shoot.
the ones that were teaching me and, tripping out and enjoying themselves. And I was like, wow, okay. So I remembered that. And then I was like, let's start with roses. And we went with roses. But then the thing is, they pull chromium naturally. Naturally, our media, our soil, especially the way our soil has changed over the years.
Wouldn't make the same choice, or that's not what I would do, but I understand where
Yeah,
you're coming from. And if I can get inside there, wouldn't make the same choice, or that's not what I would do, but I understand where you're coming from. And if I can get inside their head and go, oh, I totally get it, or I think I get part of it, it's just their head, and go, oh, I totally get it, or I think I get part of it. It's just a very different way of going through the world.
We do make sure they're dried right, make sure that they're just on screens, that they're just drying. We're not using any machinery. They're put together by hand as well. And then we're doing everything right. And if we do have to use paper, we use French organic paper. So it's completely healthy. It's bleached. It's not harmful in any way. And then we combine those to make, which I even have some with me. We have all
Their head and go, oh, I wouldn't.
Yes.
These are roses, lotus, and banana leaves. That's our rainbow.
Yeah.
That's a full-on rose, and it's got a
Wow.
really short tip. We do our lotuses with the glass tip are really popular too, and those are the leaves, and they all have medicinal properties. So they're very, very healthy. And of course, we have to say it can, all the things that it might. So it
Yeah.
may help with pain. It may help with inflammation. It may be an aphrodisiac that balances women's hormones, that help them not get the munchies, helps them be more active in over 40, perimenopause, and menopause, so that we then are still active women. And
Yes.
it's not, I have a lot of men that smoke them and say the same thing, that they've helped with inflammation, pain, swelling in the feet, stop the munchies as well. But women has been very receptive, our R&D, that are coming back saying their husbands are like, I will buy it all. My wife went from the menopause thing that you hear horror stories about to she likes me. She loves me. They were like, put the kids to bed early like me,
So what wrap is provided? Is that more of the lotus, or is it more the rose? Which one do you think is more beneficial when you're talking about that for women in like menopause and things like that?
The rose.
The
The
rose.
rose is
Okay.
the one that has the most terpenes that actually work with our body, and it does so much for us. It actually helps us out, helps with that flora and fauna, balance pH in our body, with the right strains. Because I don't grow a strain and say, oh, that's the new best thing. I find old school strains that also have high terpenes in the levels that I want, and I'm coming in around 16 to 20% in my THC level. I don't want it to be those 30s where you're out of your mind. I want you to have a good
Yeah.
experience, a nice high, but a body, but also a focus. Like my yellow roses, they focus you. It's exactly what you see when you think of yellow. You think of the color, you think of sunshine, and how it focuses you. Because also each natural color of a rose does different things. So it has different terpenes because of the color. Because in nature,
Wow.
similar, but also the color affects that as well. And, people ask me for black and purple and blue, but we only do what Mother Nature provides. So I'm not putting dyes in, I'm not putting chemicals in. The lotuses are bluish purple. That's exactly what
Yeah.
they are. They are that. And they're all different variations. Now, the lotuses are good for helping also sleep and relaxation and pain in a different manner. So
Mm-hmm.
exactly what you would think of a Zen lotus of what it does and
Mm-hmm.
what it is exactly what it is. And also it helps with the aroma, where people don't always like the smell, the skunky, the gassy.
Okay.
The petals also mask that a bit as well.
Hmm. Okay.
So
Now,
something
is
to
it
go,
more of like hybrid, or are you sticking more indica, sativa, or is there
I
kind of, you got
do.
your little mix?
I got my little mix. I do. And I only use a
Okay.
bud. I only use whole bud. So I'm not using shake and trim, which most people do in a pre-roll.
Yes.
So if
Oh,
I'm going
wow.
to give you medicine, I'm giving you medicine.
Mhm.
I want to
There
make
you go.
sure your experience, it's not that shake and trim doesn't have its place. It does.
It does.
Every bit of that plant has it. Like I can use it top to bottom, roots, everything, in every shape and form and show you how to medicinally use the entire plant. But at the same time, I don't want you to get the least amount out of what you can get. If you're going to go buy a premium pre-roll that's a rose that was handmade and hand filled, then I'm certainly going to put in the best that I can give you. And it's sticky. It's
Amen.
very
Amen.
sticky. So it's freshly
I
ground
believe it.
and small sourced. So like currently, we're using a lot of old school strains like Panama Red. We're using a Yonana that's a mix, a white rhino. We're getting into blackberry, things like that. Things that have also like a blueberry, cherry notes. And it just
Mm.
is very well. Like people sit there and say I pair it like I would pair a wine and food.
Oh, 100%.
Same
It's
idea.
you're a sommelier. You're a
Right.
cannabis
Why not?
sommelier. I
Yeah.
love it. I
And
love
we
it.
also do cannabars too. I use organic hemp and I take the hemp. And then what we do is we take the ashwood tips and soak them in vanilla and raw sugar. And then it's a recyclable tip. But then at the same time, it's a very muscly. I use that one like it's masculine, but it's not. But at the same time,
Okay.
vanilla, and that raw sugar blend. So I'll use a more pungent, like an Evans OG or something. Put that
Mm.
together or a garlic knot, and you're blending that with those flavors, and
Mm.
it's beautiful.
Oh, I believe it. I like to think of myself as a little bit of a sommelier over the
Well,
years and the
yes.
mixing of that. Uh, Now, yeah, there's so many places I want to go with that. So are you growing you're growing everything yourself, including the flowers? You just got a huge garden, I'm imagining,
Oh, I
at your
wish I did.
place?
We tried doing it here in the media and everything, and it just wasn't what we needed it to be.
Okay.
So it took years. When I like most people go, oh, 1, 2, 3. No, I always say it's not for the faint of heart. Cannabis is definitely not for somebody who wants to get rich quick and think it's like this instant everything. It's not. It's hard, but if you're in it for the right reasons, it's worth it. It's 100% worth it, and I believe in the medicinal properties of it. I have a medicinal product that is on some medicinal menus and also on rec menus. We all have ailments. We all have things that we need it
Mm-hmm.
for. So I believe it should be obtainable and sustainable and right. So to bring my costs down, because America doesn't make it that way, unfortunately, I found a wonderful woman in India who also had a farm, and usually men own farms. And her husband actually gave it to her and her daughter. So
Wow.
yes, which is very unheard of. And
Yeah.
he employs 300 women, and those 300
What?
women grow our flowers and make them for
Oh, that
us.
is so, yeah. How did you come across that? That had to be finding a needle in
It
a
was doing that.
haystack.
Well, there's like a background to me. Um,
Okay.
so I used to have a women's retreat center for women and children of sexual abuse and child trafficking. I am a survivor of that as well. And so I had this retreat center for over 15 years. And I also hosted different um, shamans, monks, you name it, just people around the world to help the people find hope in the world, find light, find peace. And I didn't want it to be one religion, one this, one ethnicity. It was about energy, love, and hope, and just bringing people from around the world, showing them that no matter what and who you are in your circumstances, that you can achieve it, that you can find good things in the world. So I would host Tibetan monks, and they were my favorite.
Whoa.
So I brought Tibetan monks in, and they were in a peace project, and they live in India because of the communist government pushed them out, wanted
Mm-hmm.
to kill them all and get the Dalai Lama, that whole. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
So I was hosting these underground monks, and they would come for peace and come to America to spread the word of love and just being a good human. And so I knew people in India because of doing that. So I was able to
Okay.
find people and source and say, hey, and I still talk to the monks, and they do have some computers, and I'll be like, hey, Tashi Delik, I'm looking for X. Can you find me Y? And so we have
Oh,
women that are in the same unfortunate situations who don't want to be married off or were trafficked or were orphans who needed a living wage and a job. So we employ 300 women with an American living wage to make organic petals for us.
oh,
So,
bless your heart. And most people don't realize how pervasive and how widespread human trafficking and abuse is in this world. It is one of the underplayed, and more people need to bring this to attention.
mhm.
And then secondly, and I love what you're talking about with energy, because I feel the same way. I understand that. I have dabbled and grown myself, but I also know the energy that goes into plants. And there's a big difference in the cannabis industry when you get these factory, just giant farms that are just pumping out this stuff. And then to kind of go into the whole, let's get it up as high as possible.
Right?
Yeah, there might have been a point in my early 20s I would have said, yeah, let's go.
Well, I
But
love that. I'm like, yeah, tonight I'm smoking blah. Yeah.
yes, but the real healing power, and I believe this, or I call it like work bud, or things I need to get done to be in that low 20s or upper teens. You don't,
Absolutely.
and I mean, to find the best, and everybody's different. I'm not saying there's a one size fit all, but I definitely, personally, I know the difference from something grown with love versus something that was just factory put in. It's different. And
Yeah.
most people don't realize that that energy transfers on with other people. Like when we're making our products, I was just talking with this with another podcaster the other day. The culture and the feel in the room needs to be on a positive level, because if it not, I swear it transfers on. So if we're all having a bad day or something, it's just like, hey,
It goes right down the
let's
line.
go out. Yeah, let's go let's take a little time off, let's get our minds right, and then let's get back into doing this. Because if we're not, I think that transfers on. And I don't, and then you're going into the whole factory farming things and how we're raping the soil, and we're doing a huge disservice. And this
Yes.
whole monocropping that they got going on in the United States really needs to stop. But and I'm in Nebraska, so I'm in the middle farm
You're
country, and
right in it. You're right in it.
yeah, and people, we don't talk enough about the over fertilization and the pollution that is caused by that, and what's running off into our rivers and our streams and
People
everything
need to be
else with like the
mindful.
GMOs.
Yeah. It's crazy.
And
If
it's
people really actually took time to be aware, they wouldn't want anything that was given to them at all.
no. And there's so much better farming practice. I can go in for hours on that.
Me
There's
too.
the but and then getting back to the plant. The plant is so universal. I mean, the
She's
things
beautiful. She's
it,
everywhere on this planet in different types and variations.
well, and even just to repairing the soil. I've
Yeah.
talked with many farmers out here. If they would rotate a hemp crop
Crop in
through
there.
there, it would actually replenish the soil.
Yep. And
And
cleanse it
then
right out.
and it's just like I've even heard they doing it in like war torn areas where there's a
Yeah.
lot of pollution and stuff in the ground.
Regenerates
They would
everything.
plant, yeah. And then the beautiful thing about it is it's so universal. We can make way better industrial products when it came to like lumber, clothing,
It
paper.
makes no sense that we're not using it more.
It's just, it blows my mind. And we've been in a fight. We're not totally legal out here. We finally got a board to go medical, but my lovely state of Nebraska is fighting us tooth and nail on that, and they're dragging their feet.
Yeah.
But the big reason is there's just so much money being pumped in from big pharma, private prisons, the judges, the cops. They don't want to let that go because that's their little cash cow. But it's like
Yeah.
people need help. And this is so much of a holistic, better way of helping. And yeah, and the big one is like, most people don't realize is like, we can replace the 2x4s and stop cutting down so many damn trees, which would help with the pollution if we had
Right.
more trees.
God forbid.
God forbid, and then the materials would last so much longer. The 2x4s, the concrete and everything would, but
But
yeah,
they don't want to listen.
it's they don't want to listen. But that's hey, it's slowly coming about. Having
Right.
conversations like this,
The
I'm
right people
always
doing the right things. And
yes, and it's unfortunately it's going to take some time because I'm sure just like yourself, you were hoping this was going to happen 20 years ago, 10
yeah.
years ago.
And it finally is just here now. We've only been on shelves since March of this year.
Oh, okay.
And
That was going to be my next question is how long has your
yeah.
business been going?
And we sell out every week.
There you go. What are you seeing for scaling? Like now that you're selling out every week, what's your how are you attacking like to expand, or is it just
we
like you want to keep it in small
We like it
batches?
in small craft. We do. I mean, yeah, doesn't everybody want to make money? I haven't seen that yet. You put all your savings in it. You know, we are not investor backed. We are very
Mhm.
bootstrapped, small. It's my wife and I, and our one daughter
Ah,
who's old enough to work it. So it's three of us making them. And then we are in the Jersey market, and we will be at the end of the month in Maine Medical. So we will be in Maine,
wow.
and then we will be in New York State in like December, January. A friend of ours has a cultivation as well, but they're all small organic farmers. So they're each
Mm.
very small and intentional, and we'll go train them, and then they'll have like 2, 3 employees make them. But we're doing them very small batch because I want that integrity. I don't want someone also, oh my God, I got to get another order out of it. Even that, you know what I mean? Like today we were at the grow and we made 6 cases. And that was what
Wow.
the three of us could do by hand. And we also have it down pat where, we're like,
I'm sure you guys are almost machine like at this point in time.
yeah. And once, and you'll hear us if someone messes up, you'll hear, oh, and then we're like, there
Hmm.
goes one, off there goes
Uh,
the pedal. We just throw it, keep going, throw it. But we still have fun. And like a friend of mine who has a small microgreens business here in Jersey, but now has a cultivation. She has Panda Farms. Really great lady, Vo. And she posts every day like really good happy thoughts online and things like that. And a friend of hers died, and she posted a thing for him, and it stuck with me all day. So I made all the people that were at where we rent at our space, they have another grow and another group of people, Hamilton Farms. So they were there, and everybody was kind of in a mood today. And she said this morning to me, she goes, don't forget, a pile of smiles will make your day better. That if you can just take as many smiles as you can to everybody, they're bound to either laugh at this pile of smile and you just say it, or they'll smile back and then they'll say it to someone else, and there you go. So all day, that's all I said to people that were in a mood. I was like, piles of smiles. And then they'd laugh and smile like you did. So I've been spreading piles of smiles all day. Um, and then we were all laughed about it. We have music and we have fun, and you just do, and when
hmm.
it's fun and you're tired, we leave. We don't have a
Yeah.
set schedule. So if we're tired at
Okay.
2, we leave at 2. If we're tired at
Very
8 at
nice.
night, then we're there to wait at night. And that's just how we like to run it.
Yeah.
Very
No,
intentional.
and I think a lot of people nowadays with this instant gratification culture and the
Oh, right?
now, like we need it now. And I know with my business here at Blissful Botanicals,
Yeah,
we did the same way. I didn't get big corporate money. I started with 5 grand and a friend in a basement,
right.
and we built it up from there. And I think that's the best way of doing it because, like what you were alluding to, as soon as you get under someone's thumb of owing money to the bank and the debt, you're always constantly under that stress bubble of like, I need to make this. They're going to come and
The
do this,
deadline, the this,
the
the what.
deadline.
Yeah.
And then what naturally happens with most humans, you get tired, you start looking for shortcuts and you start doing things you're not wanting to because, well, I need to make the rent, need to
Yeah.
pay the note off. And then you're in this like
Yeah. They need
constant
their
struggle.
royalty. They need their this. They need their that.
Yeah. And I think that's some of the big problem nowadays with a lot of the small businesses is most of the businesses are taught the only way to do business is be in debt. Go and get a
Right.
loan, use other
And you
people's
need to have
money.
a credit card. And
yeah, you got to put it on here and you got to do this. And I
I
think
don't
it
have one
is,
credit card. I pay everything in
oh,
cash.
good for you. Good for
Uh-huh.
you.
People laugh and go, "You have no credit." I said, "Then I don't."
Who's to say? I mean, that, yeah. And credit cards,
If I can't afford it, nope.
they got their good and their positive. I think the country got back in the 80s got ripped off with the whole credit card. Like, here, go ahead, just put it on this and go, 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 go.
It's like
Yeah.
Owen
And,
the man at the Union with the company store back in the day. You know, they'd have the little
mm-hmm.
store during the Depression, and sure, you can keep working for me because you owe me, but you got eggs for your family this week or sugar or whatever. I just don't see it. I don't want to be a number. I'm not a number.
No.
I'm not a credit
And,
score.
and, and that's honestly, I think, what our financial system set up to with the Federal Reserve. It's, and for lack of better words, it's a slavery system.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as you get in debt, you're enslaved. I mean,
Yep,
it's, you
they
get
got
the
you.
money, they got you. And, and then they got you like, well, I need to pay for my family. I got to make the mortgage. And then they
Right,
got you
college,
hooked,
whatever. Yeah, I
hooked.
want
And
to
I
go back
think
to bartering. That's what I want.
I would be all right with that. I'd do a better job of that anyway.
I love that. I love it. I would. My retreat center, we had mentor system. People got to stay with us, but they still had to, I mean, you got time to decompress, get well. But then you got to a point where I could see, okay, now we need here. So then you would help with laundry or in the kitchen or gardening or whatever. And you grew up the tier to become a mentor to someone else. And then we had like a room that was all kinds of donations and free stuff and a food pantry. And we helped set you up an apartment or whatever you needed, but you still had to earn it. You still had to
Mm-hmm.
go through different things. And it wasn't to be mean because some of you are like, they're in horrible situations. I'm like, they're here, they're safe, they're well, but they got to feel it for themselves. They have to know
Mm-hmm.
that the strength is within them, that you can do it yourself. I'm here if you need me. Yeah, I get it. We all have bad days and we need, oh shit. Oh, excuse me. But,
Mm-hmm. No, you're fine.
okay. But at the same time, I think that you feel stronger and understand that you can get through anything if you can do it yourself. And I'm just there kind of, whoop, whoop, whoop.
And I think you're 100% right on that. I think a lot of where charity goes wrong in helping people is just the blatant handout with nothing behind it. And it's like, I think you feel more important, you feel useful when you're working for it. As much as we don't, I mean, it's life is work, unfortunately, whether if it's a barter system or money or whatever we're going to use from us being humans and going from where we are, everybody had their part to play. I mean, we
Yes.
go back to the tribes and go back
Yes.
even further.
Aboriginal,
Everybody had
whatever.
their part to play. No one's
Right.
just sitting around at home playing video games and saying, gimme, gimme,
Only
gimme.
works if everybody has a piece that they can do,
Mm-hmm.
that it's this well-oiled machine. I see
Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. We all have
No.
skills and our good and our bad and what we can do, but you find the strength and the weaknesses. Okay, you don't belong over there, but you belong over here. And everybody is a student. No one knows everything, but as a
No.
collective, we can.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I've even seen, being a small business owner and some other, there's very few big corporations I've actually seen do it right, but the ones I've seen do it right have profit share. In a sense, you work for us a certain amount of time, we're going to give you a piece of this business. And then this is going to be, you're not just saying you're
You're
working
working
for
for yourself.
someone, you're working with us to a collective goal. And I think even at my business, my employees, once they've been with me a number of years, I give them a certain percentage of the business and say, hey,
Fantastic.
thank you,
Yeah,
because
good
we're
for you.
building this together. Let's share in it together in a sense. But it's not just something I'm going to hand out to anybody coming
No,
in.
no,
It's
no.
something that has to be earned. And I think a lot of people miss that part of it, is earning that privilege or earning that spot in there, not
Yeah,
just
we've lost sight
here.
of that. Yes.
Yes. I very well think we have as well. Uh, what other problems you've seen being a small business owner and this starting up? What are some of the, if someone else was seeing this podcast, what would you give them advice for or to
Uh,
do?
I always say go for it. I mean, if you have a dream and it's something that you truly want to do, absolutely. But make sure that you're in it for the right reasons. It's something that you 100% love. You're not just doing it because your dad said so or your friends said you'd be good at it. It's really got to be something because you got to know that there's no vacations, that there's no, holidays. When you're an entrepreneur, there's no money for 3 to 5 years, sometimes more, because you're giving it back to
Mm-hmm.
employees or, rolling it back into your business. And I always tell people to try to have as little of debt as possible. and to take courses. I mean, we don't know everything, and things change every day. Computers, like I have a lot of people learn how to do a spreadsheet, or if you're not good at computers, go take a course. I mean, I had learned that, but the things I didn't know how to do Excel when I first got into business back in the day. And I was like, everybody uses it. And I was like, oh my God, I can't be with all these young people and I don't know how to use Excel. I don't know these formulas. I know the basic, but I didn't know
Huh?
formulas and stuff. And I kept cursing and throwing shit and
Oh,
all.
sure.
So I was like embarrassed. And then finally I asked someone to teach me. So don't be embarrassed if you don't know something, no matter your age, young or old. If you don't know it, that doesn't mean that you're a bad entrepreneur or a bad business person. You're smarter to go say, can someone help me, or take a course. And I think that's the best advice, to be humble and to understand
Hmm.
you got to move with the times. You know, I don't love social media, but I need it for my business.
100%.
My daughter's Facebook,
100%.
you know?
100%. 100%. No, and there's so much information at our fingertips right now, and you can learn so much if you just have a passion for it. If you
Yes. And
go
be
and
your
look. I
authentic self.
mean,
Do not
yes.
be someone else. To a fault, I will do speaking engagements and I will tell my story. And people are like, oh, don't do that. And I'm like, no, this is why my brand is here. This is why it's called Just a Woman. I have a full story on why it's called Just a Woman. And but it blends with the brand. It makes people, you know how like they'll say, tell the story of why you want the home baked cookie
Oh,
that
yeah.
you want or whatever. And it's a selling point, yes, but it's also more than that, to describe why this means so much to me and where I'm
You're,
putting money and why.
yeah, it's showing your passion.
Yes. So
What,
I
what,
think when
what,
people want to be an entrepreneur, to do that, show exactly why
yes,
you're
you
doing
gotta
it.
be. Well, and I think a lot of people, unfortunately, they've kind of given us a bad light or trying to put it in a bad situation. And I'll hear people that have always worked for someone like, oh, well, you get to quit work whenever you want. You get to do this whenever you want. Oh, you could be your own boss. It's like, yes, but that also comes with something. And people don't realize how much work goes in. And sometimes being a small business owners, there really is no vacation. Once you go on vacation, you're thinking about 100 different things because
Or that I didn't
you're
get to do
responsible
it.
for it.
Yes.
Yep.
Or my wife says, put
And
the phone down. Please close the computer.
yes, and I'm glad you got someone, because that is key. Being an entrepreneur, I think, is you got to have the balance of downtime, because I've run into that so many times of burning myself out. And I know a lot of driven entrepreneurs will do the same thing. You get so focused on work and you don't have any downtime, and there needs to be that balanced energy in life, because if it's not there, it
No.
starts to go off
And
the
you're the
trains
one
in
that
other
takes it.
ways.
So yeah, if you're not there to focus on it when you're fully you, you have to be
Hmm.
mindful and know to take a couple days or take a moment and just turn it off.
Hmm. And that's the tough part. But it's a beautiful thing to help people, to create
Yes.
jobs, to bring a product out in the world that
People that are
actually does
amazing
good.
products. Yes, that you're doing something right. You feel good about what you left behind,
Hmm.
that you did
Yeah, yeah.
something to change that.
And I think business, and especially small business owners that have that energy and put that energy into their business and their product, that look for the quality over the quick dollar, I
Yes.
think are some of the best businesses that would withstand.
Yes.
So basically out there, if you're starting up your business, it's going to take some time, and be patient, and realize, like what you were saying, there's no correct answer. You learn by doing mistakes. You go down a wrong road, you got to
No.
figure out the right way to do it. And honestly, that's some of the fun. That's
Yeah.
the
And
passion of being a small business owner, you
it
know?
is. I have to say, you get mad at the time. I journal everything. I'm a big journaler, a big writer. And I write all that down. And then I go back and go, oh, look where I was a year ago or 3 years
Mm-hmm.
ago. And how frustrated or how excited I was for that little small achievement or whatever. And then I look back on it and go, wow, look where I'm at today. And I'm not
Yes.
exactly where I want to be, but that's okay. But I came this far now, so
Yes.
it's looking at the journey. And that's what it's
Mm-hmm.
about, the adventure, the journey of doing something that you're passionate about. Life
And
should not
that's
be boring.
And it's not about the destination. You're right. It's about the journey along the way. Yeah. Do we all want to live comfortably and have enough money to do stuff?
Right.
Sure, that all sounds, but how you get there is the fun part. And I mean, even looking at society, and you see these rich people or rich kids that have everything and they're so
Silverstone?
depressed and everything else. And you're like, you just want to go up and slap them like, what do you mean? I got nothing over here. I'm on the bottoms. But then I found that was an interesting study where they went into like even Brazil and the favelas and everywhere else. The index of happiness was higher among poor people than it was
Absolutely.
people of money and affluence. And it's like,
Yeah. There
why
was
is
more
that?
love and focus on the other things than things.
100%. The community, the people around you, not the physical material. And people get so lost in look what I have and look what I
Well,
drive
what are you
and
going
I
to do
need
with it?
this,
You
I
can't
need
take it
that.
with you. Yeah.
No, it's not. And I value the journey. It's like, hey, me and my pals did this and we got through this versus, oh, we went to this rich place and that was fun.
And you didn't go and take pictures and videos of all of it. You know what I mean? Like you weren't
Oh,
like
don't get me started on that.
present.
I am an
Be
avid
present.
concert goer and it drives me up a wall. And I'll do it every now and then
No,
because,
I
like
do a
what you're
second.
saying,
Like, woo, look who it
yep,
is.
for the social media, it's like, okay, I need to do this so I can at least get the
Yep.
business out here. But
I know.
to see people at a concert on their phone, just like, come here, give me the phone. Let's just put this away.
Enjoy it. Go
Be
dance.
here.
Sing. Yeah.
Enjoy. Yes, get involved. It's yeah, and I it's a scary thing, but I think it's something this country can turn around and get back to. And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
a lot of the shit we're going through right now as a country, I think will wake us up and we will be better on the other side.
We're going
I
to shift
think
a
a
lot.
lot.
We're going to, yeah, it's
Yes,
going to change
I think
some stuff.
yes.
Let's just put it that way. Things are
Just
going to
change stuff.
change. Yeah.
It's gonna change.
We need to blur the lines. We're just human beings having a human experience in a vessel, and then the soul and the energy is going to do what it wants to do. If we'd stop looking at everything else, we'd be a happier being.
100%, 100%. Well, that's going to finish this up for
Yeah,
right now.
it's
Why
a
don't you let us know where we can find you?
sure.
How we can get some of your products? I mean, it sounds like you're in New Jersey, hopefully be in Maine, hopefully be in New York next year.
Yep.
Where can people find you?
Right now, we're in Jersey shelves, obviously, in the recreational side of it. In Maine, we will be in as of October 1st on the medical side of it. And then in New York, we will be in recreation as of January. And we have a website that is justawomancannabis.com. Very simple. We are very responsive. It's us, the team. Everyone says, hi, can I talk to someone on your team? We're it. So there's
Okay.
3 of us right now. And then, of course, the other states will have a couple of people working there. And we're on social media, Just a Woman Cannabis as well, on any of the platforms.
Nice. Now, is something only people in New Jersey can order, or is that something in states where it's legal? Can they get on
Only
your website
legal.
and send it?
Yes, they can go on there. We were in hemp originally, and then switched to cannabis. And we now are like kind of want to go back to that. So next year we will be able to deliver our petals in hemp again, and that'll be able to go globally. So
Oh, wow.
we're
Now, have
looking
you
forward
ever
to
thought
that.
of like making like a wrap line with your petals and just saying, here, you fill your own, or is that something in the future?
It is in the future. It is. And we're also
Okay.
working with, we partnered in with a friend of ours company. We're going to do cannabis root tea as well.
Oh,
And there's
okay.
no euphoric side of it except for amazing health benefits on the roots. So that's also
Okay.
something that'll be out very soon by the end of this year as well.
Okay. And now you said you're gonna get back into the hemp, but you're gonna have like a CBD line that you can sell on most states, or
It's going to
you
be in the
looking
petals. You're going to get THCA flower and flower in these petals.
nice.
So that
Oh,
way
I
you
am
get so many
excited.
benefits. So yeah. And I'm
Well,
working on tinctures as well.
well, shoot, yeah. And I mean, for us, and we can talk when we get off this, but I might have a need for the raw product too, because I am making also with Blissful Botanicals, we do kratom and CBD, but we're also expanding into we're starting a tallow line, a beef tallow line for the skin and
Nice.
all natural.
Love
And
that.
I'm looking for a good CBD, a full spectrum CBD to add a line of that to be
Okay, yeah,
like a
I
skin.
only do full spectrum, not isolate. So yeah,
Yeah,
I have a
that would
good
be.
source out here from the Carolinas and Pennsylvania, and they're organic COAs, so it's all fully
Mm.
organic and done right.
Well, we're going to have to talk a little bit further and get
Absolutely.
some information on that because I could see us working together here in the future. But,
Absolutely. Would
well,
love to.
thank you for joining me on this podcast. I appreciate your story and I hope it inspires some people, and especially small business owners, to go and try it. Get out there. Don't be afraid to
Never
chase your passion, your dreams. Shoot for the stars and hope you land on the moon,
right or beyond. Go for it.
or beyond.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you again. Bye, guys.
Absolutely. Thank you.
This has been The Inspiring Minds with Blissful Botanicals. I hope you enjoyed this episode. To find any of our great products, log on to blissfulbotanicals.shop and hope to see you again soon. Eyes open, no fear. I'm your host, J.R. Knopp.